Oh my God.
Motor on.
Darn it. Hi everyone, welcome back to Gerad Riester YouTube, where anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Today, I finally have the Maiden flight of the Freewing Mirage 2000 for you. It was actually a little while ago, and I've flown it, what, 6, 7 more times since then, 5 in one day. I'm flying it on this. It's the Turnigy high voltage 4500. Yeah, make sure it's right set up. 4500 HV batteries. I'm getting over 6 minutes of flight time on it easy. Coming back with storage voltage, so 3.8 per cell. So now I do fly very conservative. This thing is definitely not lacking in power. So a lot of my flying is half throttle. So anyway, I'll take you out to the field. We'll see a little bit of someone else flying. Just enjoying the field and the beautiful day. And then I'll do the Maiden, and I'll come back with you at the end for impressions, characteristics, recommendations, and the like. So sit back, relax, keep your seatbelt fastened, enjoy your flight, and I'll be back with you shortly. Thank you. Another beautiful day at the field. Got a fellow who's he's a competitive aerobatic RC flyer. Doing a little bit of practice. I'll show you what an airplane can really do. And then I'll show you what not to do. Okay, here it is at the field. Freewing Mirage 2000 80mm, which is the only Freewing Mirage 2000. Looks really nice. Gonna be a maiden flight today. Okay, everybody. So here it is. Maiden flight. I got the ailerons because I got 150 travel. I got like 15 rates. 15. Well, it's not too little. Mid rates are 35, so I can jump up to that if I need to. Elevator, I got a mid rate, so it's 80. I think I'll be fine. Lots of elevator. Gave a lot of up trim, nose up trim, just to try to, in case it needs, well, in case it's nose heavy or the nose is dropping on me, it'll make my workload a little bit less. So that's it. 3 minutes on the clock. Should be conservative. I got my sort of rate adjustment on what would normally be a flap switch, and so I've got what would be takeoff flaps set for takeoff, and that's just for the throttle base gains, so it's like a mode switch in this case, but no flaps, just a mode switch. So there you go. Enough procrastinating. Taking off. Three deep breaths. God is good. Whoa. Okay.
Mid rates, low rates, mid rates.
So 15 is too low rates. It is wanting to steer, or to steer is wanting to roll left. too much. Get trimmed up. My trim for the elevator is pretty good. Actually, could have done with a little bit more. I just put basically the elevons flush with the fillets as a starting point. Oh.
Speed mode A.
Yeah, speed mode A. That would be flaps up equivalent. All right, she's
Time
fine.
remaining 2
Whoa,
minutes.
shit. All right, let's go back to speed mode B.
Speed mode B.
Okay, slow her down. She is fast. Dial down the gyro a little bit because it was wobbling. You gotta slow it down slowly or it'll start to wobble on you. Go back to speed mode A and see what that does for me. Yeah, it definitely, it'll yank and bank. It'll turn around very nicely. I guess the thing to do would be to get gear out and try.
Time remaining
Still
1
need
minute.
it. Need more up elevator. Yeah, so gear down.
Gear down. Landing mode.
Landing mode. So that'll give me more gyro, slower speeds. Oh. She is fast. That was like half throttle, and she's just hauling the mail. All right, I'm gonna land it. Try to get it down. Should be able to slow down pretty nicely.
Time expired.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Braking. Motor on.
Darn it. Reverse didn't work. And I think I got my nose gear door, which makes me mad, but flies good. The gains that I started out with on the Maiden flight, I ended up dialing the roll gains down quite a bit and the pitch increased slightly. Of course, I've got the master gain on the knob.
Stability mode.
So what'd you think of that? I had to laugh because it actually high alphaed really nicely, sort of semi-inadvertently at the end when I got the flare into it before touchdown. And then I didn't have the reverse set up properly, and it didn't need it at all, except that when I thought I put in reverse, pushed up full throttle, and it started wanting to take off again. So I ended up running off the end of the runway, very little bit of an excursion off of the runway, no damage caused. So a couple other things I'll talk to you about. I'm actually, if you look at the plane here behind me, you see that the nose gear's sticking up and the mains aren't. That's because I took them off. Because what I noticed, I don't know if this is universal or just mine, but the yoke, I guess here is what you call it for this part of the strut, and this part of the strut is too tight. So it would come down on a landing. Hold on a second. I got to take care of a cat. Sarah, get out of there. Yes, come here. Ryan. Oh, sorry, Sarah. Okay. There we go. Sarah likes to get involved in everything. She will steal parts out of that. So hey, she cries like a baby. Anyway, so it was too tight. So it would land and it would just sit like that. And if I was doing a touch and go, the next time I would come around to land, it was, now you got no suspension. And it caused a problem. I think I ended up pulling one of the gear off on a later landing because of that, although it wasn't a great landing. So I actually already repaired it, and sorry I didn't bring you along, but now you see it rebounds nicely. And what I did was I took the whole thing apart. It's a pin with a C-clip there, and I took my Dremel with a cutoff wheel, and I just ground off a little bit of metal on everything and smoothed it out, and it worked great. So no problem there. I'll report later on how my repair worked out, but it was fairly easy, not too bad. Even the C-clip came off fairly easy, which those have a tendency to fly off and disappear, which is why I've got a big box of C-clips, because they're used on a lot of things. They're used on the F-16 gear, which I've done some repairs on. So it slows down really nicely as expected, but it has high wing loading. So when you slow it down, it will drop unless you got power on it. So slow it down, but add power and keep power on it, or it will drop on you, and just be aware of that. Now there's no shortage of power. It will basically hover, or will hover, and I am basically, it will accelerate, maybe not totally vertically, but 80, 70, 80 degree angle, not angle of attack, but angle from the ground. I proved that inadvertently on a go around that I messed up, but tons of power. Like I said earlier, half throttle through most of my flying, unless I'm trying to do something crazy with it. And it's moving pretty quick. A third above quarter throttle would be normal, probably normally what I fly it on, and it flies great with that setting. So I get long flight times on the batteries I use. I do use some bigger batteries that just barely fit. I had to take out a little bit of foam to get them to fit, and consequently it's probably a little heavier and maybe a little higher wing loading, but it's really pretty light overall, and again, definitely overpowered. Later video, I'm going to compare this. I was thinking about an airplane to compare with the Eflite 70mm Viper. I think I'm going to compare this one. The reason being, once you put the receiver in this, they're pretty close to the same price, within $30 or so. And in my opinion, you get way more value buying this than that. And this flies better, in my personal opinion. This is my opinion. I have become not a fan of the Eflite 70mm Viper. I've sort of become not a fan of Vipers in general. Maybe I'll try some others later on, but the flying characteristics just aren't great to me. I'll do a video on the Maiden of the F4 and talk about it, but that's a sweetheart. It flies slow, flies light, even for an 80mm or a 90mm 8S with two big batteries in there. I feel like it floats in, real stable, sweetheart. So look forward to talking to you about that plane, and the F4 is one of my favorite airplanes. But my point being that, well, I kind of forgot what my point was. So, well, joys of ADHD. In any case, for the money, I feel like you get more value out of this than, at least for me, than I got out of my Eflite Viper. Now, I haven't given up on the Viper. I've ordered some parts. I'm really annoyed with Horizon. I ordered the parts over 2 weeks ago. They haven't shipped out yet. They weren't showing back ordered, so I'm not sure what the deal is. So I'll find out. And once I get it back in the air, then I'll give it another try, and maybe I can do better. But again, for my money, they're not really the same kind of airplanes, but I feel like this is easier to fly than that is. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment below. I'd be very interested in any comments you might have, thoughts, suggestions, or just want to chat about the planes. Ask me questions. I'd love to talk about anything that you're interested in. Ring the bell. I'm going to keep videos coming out, shooting for twice a week now. And other than that, don't run out of airspeed, altitude, and ideas all at the same time. Have a great day, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. See ya!